start this interview with a quote from Blabbermouth in a review of Blind Rage. They have described you as Accept 2.0. And in reference to this name, I would like to ask you, do you consider Blind Rage as your third album?
Yeah, I mean, I would say it's a totally new phase in our lives and in the history of Accept. You said Accept 2.0. I've never heard that term. I like it though. It's good. It feels like we started fresh about 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, and have you felt any pressure doing this album because of the great feedback that met your previous albums, Blood of the Nations and Stalingrad?
We have pressure all the time, honestly, but no, not really. Not this time.
I think you have to create your own pressure. You know, if you let outside influences dictate too much, then you drive yourself crazy. We sort of ask ourselves constantly, is this good enough? Could this be possibly any better? And so we create our own pressure in a way, you know. We do this with every project that we do.
What about the process of songwriting on the new album? Have you chosen any particular direction that you will go after Stalingrad, or was the songwriting very spontaneous?
I mean, we just sit down and jam on riffs, and whatever happens, happens. We don't ever really know beforehand what direction an album will take. We'll just sort of write and write and write for a period of 6, 8 months, and then if we have enough songs, we're ready to go into the studio and record the best songs we have.
It always seems that it hangs on the riff. You know, we play so many riffs, and most of them, they never see the light of day. And then some of them, you know immediately, this is a great riff. Let's make a song out of this, and then we take it from there. So we're really riff-driven band, always been.
So the single from your upcoming album is Stampede. Do you decide what song goes for a single, or does the label do it? And what elements decide that a song is becoming a single?
Good question. Yeah, we usually play to the label and everybody else involved, and then, you know, whatever the consensus usually is. I mean, we make a suggestion and they make a suggestion and we take it from there. And we wanted something that's typical. You know, the ideal riff or song, it should be within a few seconds. It should be clear that this is Accept. So we would never, for our first single, pick anything that's like, you know, a little progressive or obscure or something like that. You know, so we most definitely want to tell the people what the direction of the album is and
we're back.
Hit them in the face and no questions asked, you know.
Remember what kind of atmosphere was in Accept back then when you were creating this album, and why do you think that it's still so popular and we can say immortal?
Of course we remember it. We were there. I mean, it's a long time ago, but yeah, I clearly remember it. I think it is a significant album because it was sort of a turning point in our life. I mean, we really found our direction with that album, and it was something that the world in certain aspects hadn't heard before. You know, songs like Fast as a Shark is certainly new territory, and that's, you know, to me it's still one of the most significant albums we've made. And for a lot of metal fans, it was sort of the starting point, the wake-up call for this whole heavy metal genre, which didn't really exist for very long before then. Or, you know,
Isn't it?
certainly in Germany there wasn't any other metal band.
No, and it's an interesting point. It wasn't our best-selling record, never was, but it was the one that impacted the most people, and it's been recognized all over the world. So many bands started playing because they listened to Fast as a Shark. I mean, thrash bands, Metallica, you name it, Anthrax. All comes from that one little song that we did back then, and it, you know, Wolf is right. That's where we established our identity, I would say, for the first time.
You guys have mentioned Fast as a Shark. It's one of your greatest hits, and you have created a lot of songs that have become hits. But I would like to ask you, what are the most underrated songs of Accept in your opinion?
Some great stuff in the 90s that we did, you know, on these albums. But in general, those albums, you know, fell by the wayside because the times were very difficult and it wasn't a very popular time for metal, and we went through some tough times and changes. But there's really, if we went back and picked out those cherries from those songs and would re-record them maybe one day, I think there's some great material there.
Objection Overruled was a great record. Death Row, it had some great songs on it.
Right.
Really good.
So there's a lot of stuff we could still go back, but usually we never do because we write new stuff, which is way more exciting to us and the fans, hopefully.
You guys have inspired a lot of metal bands. I would like to ask you what inspires you now, today?
Man, it's the love of music. What else? I mean, going out there to play in front of 100,000 crazy kids. I mean, what more do you ask? I mean, there's not many things in life that can top this. I don't even know of a single one, actually. I think, you know, we all came back out of retirement, if you want, because this is what we love to do. There's nobody who's forcing us to do all of this. We just wanted to do this one more time, or many more times.
And it's not just that, it's also creating music that will stand the test of time. You know, 50 or 100 years when we're gone, somebody's still going to listen to these songs. And to us, it's an accomplishment. That's what we're striving for. So when we make a new record, we want to make sure it is as good or better than the one before. You know, that's an interesting part of our life.
I would also like to ask you about your knowledge about Poland, about Polish metal bands.
Not too much. I mean, we've played here many times before. We know the audience well, and we love the Polish fans, but don't know too much about the Polish music scene, to be honest.
Well, my mom is Polish. It's about the thing I love the most about Poland.
Oh, yeah?
No, yes, she is. She came from Katowice.
Ah.
And back in the beginning of the 80s, we had great shows in
Warsaw.
Warsaw. I mean, amazing big shows. It was amazing, and I can't believe how much the country changed. Really, it's great. It's unbelievable. So, you know, hopefully we had a little part in that.